How bureaucracy has turned the phrase maximum government, minimum governance into a reality was covered in this video. Through minimum governance, B creates space for more B, thus expanding its kingdom. As regards the perks and entitlements, let me talk of one pay for inefficiency that B has rewarded itself. Rest is easy to imagine. B sent a recommendation to 6th Pay Commission to introduce special pay for inefficiency called non-functional upgradation. So B recommended it. B approved it for B from 1st Jan 2006. This absconding Kailasa Swami must have learned the me myself mantra from RB. What is non-functional upgradation? If people from outside of government jobs think that it is a procedure prescribed by a sexologist for improving the functioning, you are not wrong. This is the pay for those whose functioning is poor or inefficient. With this pay, the nation is receiving plenty of improved functioning like a hen from a rooster. However, in government files, it is granting the same pay, allowances and pension to all non-performers that a promoted officer gets. Non-accountability of executive is well known. Along the pay for non-performance, B also added a provision. A corruption probe on B can only start after B's approval. Dale Doughton's baby's maternity benefits plus insurance cover served on a platter. Interestingly, this pay for non-performance is not granted to armed forces. For the record, a bureaucrat serving in Guwahati gets more than double hardship allowance than an army officer battling terrorists in Kashmir Valley. Let's put this in perspective. Emergent bridge repair? Yes. Rescue during natural calamities? Yes. Guarding absolutely insane borders? Yes. Fighting terrorists? Yes. Surgical strike, Balakot air attack? Yes. To top it, fight with dysfunctional third-rate weapon systems? Yes. Non-functional upgradation pay? No. On the other hand, pay for unaccountability and inefficiency of B? Yes. Hence, B through Modi government fights its own soldiers in Supreme Court, throwing crores of rupees to advocates as fees. Whose money, honey? B has told Apex Court, grant of NFU to armed forces will adversely affect the operations. Which operations, sir? Outright mockery of taxpayers. This NFU pay must be withdrawn by Modi government. Money paid to all till now must be recovered. Shame to a nation where the poor continue to die for want of food and basic health care, and B gets paid for inefficiency. It's also time Modi looks at perks and subsidized luxuries of lawmakers who are all crorpatis anyway. Now analyze this. Elected government has ideas, be it a 5 trillion economy, bullet train, Swachh Bharat or Achhe Din by 2024. But the delivery has to be through B. That's how the executive is structured. Sad truth is, by design and habit, the procedures for delivery always come with loopholes. Consider GST implementation for example. 2 years and it is still work in progress. Do watch Rafale, Our Enemies Within for confirmation. You can go through this article titled How India's Sunrise Industries Were Murdered. These googly procedures and their quirky implementation result in common people, businesses, industries getting hurt, which lead to legal conflicts. Law Ministry has admitted in 2017 that in 46% of the cases, government is either a litigant or a defendant fighting against you and me. Another report puts this figure at 60-65%, which is closer to the truth. To serve you and me, government departments also fight against each other in courts as well. Result, 336% jump in legal spend. See this example. QNet Ponzi scheme, a chain marketing trick, had duped people in excess of rupees 1,000 crore. Affected people went to court. Ministries were made parties for they being mute spectators. On a notice by Supreme Court, Ministry of Consumer Affairs humbly submits that Ponzi Scheme Act have concerns with Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, and this ministry has limited role because it has only issued direct selling guidelines. Further, relief sought by petitioners do not come under the purview of Consumer Affairs. Supreme Court has been educated that DFS FinMin comes under GOI and Consumer Affairs has nothing to do with Finance Ministry, since Food and Public Distribution is another ministry under another GOI. Great foresight to name these buildings North and South Block. One ministry looks north, the other south, whether in policy decisions or submissions to courts. Petitioners can take a dip in the polluted Ganga. Is it any wonder then that our courts are overburdened? The babies shown in this video are to serve you and me. They serve us so well that we, those who have time and money, go to courts against them. How about the poor? Don't be silly. We are at conceptual level deliberating higher challenges. As a result, courts are overburdened. So B has to deliver more B to deliver justice due to injustice caused by the B. Babies for justice, come up on stage please. Tribunals for RERA babies will be getting delivered soon enough. Have a look at first set of babies shown in this video. And these babies to understand the damage B is causing to the nation, which no media house has time to highlight. Who sit in the thrones of the tribunals to deliver justice against the injustice done by B? This in short is the empire built by B since independence. Consider this example to complete the picture. Modi got insolvency court bill introduced so that fraud business people do not loot banks anymore. He got RERA introduced to protect home buyers. He got PMLA amended to catch money launderers. B is so smart, the provisions in legislations in each of them are so worded that one legislation contradicts the other in all three. Now Modi is after B to amend IBC because of this. He gets one arm to do something good, enters a tribunal to the seat that equates fraud creditors to the genuine lenders in SR Steel insolvency case. The same tribunal asks fraudsters to segregate their loot money from good money and pay back 30% of dues from segregated good money to banks. Tribunals know fraudsters have good money. Banks, RBI, MCA, Finance Ministry, all managed by B, all okay with good money, good judgment. Remember, basic agenda of B is maximum government, minimum governance. So how can it, which is so used to helping all and sundry to loot so far, draft any bill that will meet its fundamental objective? When Modi realized that there was no mechanism to address big loan defaults, let's understand the time span 1947 to 2014. He asked for insolvency bill. Did the IBC bill of 2016 ensure two basic objectives? First, financial interests of banks will be protected. Second, the bidders or new owners of stressed assets will be kept indemnified of the wrongdoings of previous owners. The original bill failed in both the objectives. Lucky taxpayers. Supreme Court came to the rescue. It is the persistence of Modi that sees 3 amendments in 3 years in the same bill. Doesn't PM of a huge country with multitude of challenges have no other job that he has to run behind this rogue B all the time? Hence the tagline, Modi's enemy number one, bureaucracy. Hold it, we are not done yet. Taxpayers, nurture this new baby in the meanwhile. Unified Regulatory Authority to monitor international financial services centers. Work is in progress for IFSC Regulatory Authority Tribunal. To address economic slowdown, corporate tax is reduced to 15% for those who start manufacturing by March 2023. But government says software, mining, printing, etc. are not eligible. Is there any logic to exempt certain activities if addressing economic slowdown is the aim? If loss of revenue is the fear, why reduce the tax? Government further warns that it can notify any manufacturing as not exempt at a later date. Scope for arbitration created right under the nose of Modi. Modi can keep warning the B that he will not allow them to spoil his second term. B will keep singing, Meri Marzi. 72 years. Let's understand the damage B has caused. Utterly whimsical and unpredictable so-called regulatory environment. For industrialists, incentive is in managing this madness and in remaining Jugadu masters and not in becoming world-class producers. Therefore, how will our country progress without overhauling of B, irrespective of how good a political leader is? The present economic slowdown and the response of B further illustrates the necessity for this overhaul. In this video, I had mentioned that Modi has to amend the constitution to overhaul the bureaucracy. Here it is. Although Dr. Ambedkar had a major role in drafting our constitution, physical work of writing was done by B. In part 14 of constitution, B's role is very carefully defined. Elected executive's power to act against B was cleverly diluted through Article 311. Because of this, ours is the only democracy where the elected executive can't throw out the B. What you have read about Modi compulsorily retiring few officials is conditional in that either the officer should be at least 50 years of age or should have completed 35 years experience. By this time, lot of damage to the system is already done. Damage? B sits on file seeking approval to prosecute corrupt B. That's why I said the constitution has to be amended if Modi doesn't want his second term to be ruined by B. Without bringing accountability on performance of bureaucracy, nation will continue to be pinned to the ground with more non-functional upgradation pays and incentives. Poor people, taxpayers like you and me can continue to be the hens. B will remain functioning rooster. Please take out a couple of minutes to share this video with your friends if you agree with the contents. Also forward this to Prime Minister to tell him that citizens voted for him so that the B delivers services to people, not more babies to look after itself. Subscribe to this channel. B is waiting to tell you why it is enemy number one of Modi. Quite a few of you have commented privately on the previous video. Scroll down cell phone screen and comment here. Be a good friend, please. Is it any wonder American economist Land Pritchett described Indian bureaucracy as one of the world's top 10 biggest problems, up there with AIDS and climate change? Jai Hind.